to kind of, I know you guys have a relationship that's grown quite a bit.
Yeah.
Over the past year, I guess. What has he meant to you, just not only as a coach, but as a person, get to know him?
Well, I mean, you go back to this building here when we took the job, and the team was getting ready for the bowl game against USC, the Holiday Bowl, I guess it was. And at that point in time, I mean, he stood out, just watching him. And one of the first thoughts that crossed my mind was, boy, this is going to be fun, getting to work with this guy. I think the thing that I've enjoyed the most over the last, especially year, is just watching his growth within the system. He's positioned himself right now, I think, pretty handsomely from a standpoint of, where he is within the team in tackles, interceptions, historically within the program. Captain, semifinalist, Bednarik, just received his Senior Bowl invite. So it's on him now. But just really enjoyed watching him have success and get away from the negativity and the pain that he went through last year.
You see that, when you look at the Minnesota film, what jumped out at you as you reviewed it?
The Minnesota film? I thought, number one, that we accomplished what we wanted to do against their run. I mean, Rodney Smith had 4 100-yard games going in. They wanted to run the ball, and that included the quarterback. We didn't let him run at all in any of his run plays. The one that you want back again, but you can never get it, is we didn't spill the back. Instead, he hit the edge, and our fill was too tight, and the safety missed the tackle on the one run for 31 yards. When it came to our pressures, we had some things go on from a standpoint of alignment, and then not running the right line in a couple cases, because the pressures would have probably been devastating in a couple of cases. I thought the front did a good job at times pressuring the quarterback. He was struck a number of times. A lot of times that goes unstated. I always hear that about, I hear it because I get emails and text messages, the fact that the 4-man rush, well, I mean, it's not a constant, but if you're really watching the play and the conclusion of it, the quarterback is at least throwing the ball on time and getting rid of the ball for the majority of the time. The other thing that comes to mind is the way the game finished with us on the field, because we had told the defense, we said, when we went in at halftime, the way the game's going to be won is whose ever defense makes the more plays. It's not going to be an offensive deal where it's going to be a shootout, because they're going to play hideaway if they get the lead. So we're going to have to make more plays than their defense, and why not be us? So it was kind of neat to see Aaron come back after struggling on the first couple of third downs in that first series throughout the whole game, and make a nice tip. He was in great position on Wolotarski. We had him inside and underneath, and we had Kyron Williams over the top. So, I mean, some of those things kind of stick out to you.
According to Pro Football Focus, I don't know if you're familiar with that analytics.
Yes.
They graded Kevin Maurice as the #1 defensive tackle in the country last week.
Yeah.
Did you get a similar?
I don't know. Numbers are what they are. I mean, we had our own article a few weeks ago about how analytics, are just, it's the reason why we're not, 2-8 and why we're 8-2. But some of that things. I mean, those things, help. But I know this. Kevin Maurice is the heart and soul of that defensive front. I don't care what numbers say. I mean, he plays his ass off. He's a great leader. He wants to. He's a good guy to be around. He brings a certain amount of toughness, great work ethic. And guess what? It just so happens that, he's really, grinding his way in every game to make plays that people don't even see. I mean, probably the statistic that shows up the most would be the 2 sacks he had back-to-back against Northwestern. I mean, to me, he was the greatest tackle in the world that particular day because they came at the right time. And he's just been solid all year. So, I mean, you could take the stats and the analytics and all that stuff. The only stat that matters is that we win. And then the other stat, I think, as a player is the effort they give and then the result that they have through that effort.
What's Maryland? What jumps out at you about Maryland? And is there any type of carryover, any similarities that Maryland has with Minnesota?
No. Maryland would better parallel Ohio State. There are a lot of things that come out of their package that Ohio State ran. And the other thing is right now their quarterback position is unsettled. 11's got the left shoulder. 7's been kind of hot and cold. 3 played against Minnesota, did a nice job. And they all bring something different. 11 is the best of both worlds, run and pass. 7 appears to be more of a thrower than a runner. And 3 gives you fits, not so much maybe running the ball off of a run play and not throwing the ball downfield, but when they do pass, he's a threat to just take off on you.
Is it odd to say that Ohio State game could help you at this point?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, we've played those plays. And when you look back at it, as funny as it sounds, I mean, there are a lot of positive things in that game as well. The good news is we're not playing Ohio State necessarily right now. At the same time, this is a dangerous team from the standpoint that they're going to do anything that they can to score points. And they have. They've been in what we call a Daffy Duck formation, where part of the offensive line's over there, the other line's over there, the receivers are scattered all over the place. They're in empty, they motion back into the backfield. They've got double passes, they've got a reverse pass. So they're doing everything in their power to try to score points. So for us, it's going to be a big discipline game, as well as at the same time maintaining our aggressiveness.
82 gave you some trouble out of the slot, especially in the first half for Minnesota. Was that something with him just being a good receiver? Is that the concepts they were running into? Is that repeatable, I guess?
Well, the first third down, we've got it wired. And normally he would come in motion to that bunch formation and run like he's going to the flat and then come back underneath on an angle route. Instead, he just ran to the flat, and the corner's just sitting right there to take him. Instead, for whatever reason, the corner's looking inside. He's already running the angle route as the receiver runs by him. The second one, we were in a different coverage. We were undercovering him with a safety over the top, but instead of zone, it was man. And he does a nice job running a hint move and then back to the out, and we weren't able to get underneath him, and the quarterback made a nice throw. So just in those two series, that first series and those 2 third downs, one was on us, one they did a good job, and the other one was the fourth down, because without those 2 third downs, or even with those 2 third downs, we're still off the field if the fourth down doesn't happen. And that fourth down, that's on me. We practice all the time with our regular package, with our nickel package, with our dime package, for when we stay on the field. And it was strictly a communication issue with one of the players that was on the field on a third down situation that normally stays on the field, because normally you're in nickel and dime. He did not come off. And then the perfect storm was, it was only the second game that he started in our regular package. And he would have been off the field, because normally Kyron is out there, and Kyron's already been through that situation a number of times and come off. You know, obviously you don't want that to happen. It's a critical error. Could have lost the game. It would have been sick if that had happened. But that is strictly on, and you know, we're all in it. I got you, but that's, I mean, why go around pointing the finger? That was on me. But thank God that didn't have an effect on the outcome of the game. I guess we can laugh about it now because it made it more entertaining. But those things can happen.
Hey, another question about Kevin Maurice. How do you think he looks at maybe the next level? He's only got 3 games really left in college, 3 or 4 games at this level. How do you think he projects? You coach at that level. You send other guys to that to the league. Where does he fit in?
I think Kevin Maurice will be somebody that, just the way that we started with him, that you'll go, you know, gee, I don't know, he's not quite this, he's not quite that. But I think what will happen is he'll make a team, he'll make it to a camp, and then his work ethic and his abilities will shine. And if that team needs a tackle, he'll make that team. There's no doubt. I think he can play at the next level. It's just a matter of the fit with the next team, and obviously the most important thing is the opportunity.
His toughness to play as many snaps as he's had to this year. I mean, what does that speak to?
He's more durable at this point in time than he was at any time last year. He did a great job both in the weight room and out on the field running to better his body. I think if he had the same physical structure that he did last year, he wouldn't have been able to uphold at this point in time, because I mean, you look at it. We played 2 physical games back to back against Wisconsin and Ohio State. There are some other teams that are as good and better, but those are 2 pretty good teams that are pretty physical. And you know, it's not like he's 100% healthy, but he's tough as nails, and he's got an attitude about him. So with that said, I think, again, that off-season conditioning, that he was helped by people here, but he took it upon himself also to make that a point so that he could go the long haul.
Mike talked about clearing a mental hurdle against Minnesota for obvious reasons. Were you concerned about it, and how did you? What did you think of the response?
A mental hurdle?
A mental hurdle.
In reference to?
Coming off a tough loss, you know.
Oh, you know, that was the first thing we addressed. Somebody asked last week, well, what did we do, you know, on Sunday? Well, what we did was we took the film and we took the things that are fundamental to us playing. That, you know, just this is always and has to be done this way. And for whatever reason in that game, we just didn't do, let alone big things, we just didn't do the little things correctly. So we wanted to make sure we took those things and used them. The big things, as I had said at that point in time when asked, you know, there was some things schematically that we would do differently, but that'll take, you know, some time, you know, to get those things. But we didn't want to bother the players with that. We just wanted to make sure that they knew that, hey, this is how you play this play. When 3 does this and 2 does that, when the guard does this, when the tackle does this, this is where your eyes belong. And we reinforced the basics.